that does take us to our listener questions, and I love that they're just all about inside centers, Kagi. So not one prop question, sadly, for you, mate, on
I know.
this
I
list.
was devastated. I thought Nelson would have been on an alter ego account putting up at least a flanker question, but nothing. So centers it is, guys. That's what we do what the people want. So look, the first question, let's jump straight into it then. And I guess, this will be a bit of spoilers for the team preview coming up. But we've got a question from Jay Van Den Arend, or at Arend J. He said, when do you guys think, who do you think will get the Canes 12 jersey for round 1 and for the rest of the season? Harry, do you want to take your stab at that first, and I'll tell you what I think?
Yes. Haven't the slightest is the honest truth. I did go and do a bit of reading up on this one through the weekend, and interestingly, even their coach says that it's 50-50 right now between Peter Umaga-Jensen and Riley Higgins. Apparently, Umaga-Jensen had a huge off-season. He was in before training started, just trying to get himself fit, so he obviously understands the and the opportunity that he has without Geordie being there this year. And he played very, very well by all accounts against the Blues on the weekend. Riley Higgins also had a solid game, so they're both playing well. They're both pushing for that 12 jersey. So the truth is, I think it's probably a flip of the coin, and they'll probably use the first half of the season to try and establish the pecking order. My personal pick, because I've seen so much more of him, is Peter Umaga-Jensen. I just really rate him when he's firing. I think he's exceptional. And I probably don't have the same depth and knowledge about how Higgins plays to be as excited by him.
Yep. I'll look, I was hoping you weren't going to go in the end with your personal pick. And I was going to say, look, I won't be a fence sitter like Harry. It's Peter Umaga-Jensen, mate. He's an All Black. When he gets to top form, look, Riley Higgins is great. He's certainly a lot younger, and he's been more of the understudy. I think Riley Higgins has had some really good form through NPC, but it's
He
Peter
also played All
Umaga-Jensen.
Blacks 15. He was the inside centre for the All Blacks 15 on the tour last year.
It's Peter Umaga-Jensen, mate. You heard it here first. The listeners want answers. It's Peter
I'm with
Umaga-Jensen.
you. I agree. I'm trying to make it harder than it has to be. All right, Pudge, basically done. Next question, David Beaton at David Beaton. You can work that one out. Who do you think will be the Blues 12 for the first round? Is it going to be Plummer or Lamb or Kagi? Could it be someone else?
I'm just trying to think who else it could be, actually. I wish that you answered this question first this time. But no, look, I mean, I would think
Corey Evans would be the other one, obviously.
I think, is there someone else we're missing? Corey Evans, I thought of. I mean, look, I think it's going to be Plummer, and I'll be surprised if it's not. I would love it to be AJ Lamb, and AJ Lamb can literally play anywhere in the back line. But I just think, particularly if you see it in the preseason, in the preseason games and the content they put out, Harry Plummer is essentially like the leader of that team. Like, he was the captain of the Auckland NPC side. And if you see it every time the team breaks down and huddles up, it's Harry Plummer who's laying down the shots, telling the team what to do. Now, obviously, there's a lot more senior players in All Blacks. Tuipulotu's the captain, things like that. But he just seems to have a really crucial leadership role in the team, particularly if he's kicking goals as well, if he's the preferred goal kicker. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him at 12 to start the season.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to know, right? Like, even if you have a look at the trial team that they just put up, they played Harry Plummer at 10, AJ Lamb 12, Rico at 13, and then Bodie was in like the other side that was the second choice, really, when you look at the bulk of who was in the team. So maybe they just bench Plummer and they play. I mean, they bench Bodie and they play Plummer at 10. No, I don't really think that's going to happen. My gut says that Harry Plummer is now looked at as a 10 primarily, but and they won a tournament with AJ Lamb at 12. I don't know. It's another really, really hard one. I might go against you just for the sake of being against you. You made some really good points, but I still think you're completely wrong. It's got to be AJ Lamb.
The only other person to chug out there is, and he's a youngster, but he's an absolute up-and-comer, it's Xavi Taylor. I'm not exactly sure how you say his name. But he's like Taylor, yeah. He's I'd say like he's probably the most mold of a 12 in that team. Like AJ Lamb is great. AJ Lamb can play 12, 13, 14, 15. I have no problem with him playing anyway. He's awesome. But I'd say Xavier Taylor is probably like the most of a 12 that I like to see as a 12. But probably could be a bit too much too soon for him. So
I think it has to be, right? Like, I've got big raps on Corey Evans as well. I think he's fantastic. And he's at least been in their system for a few years, and he's still struggling to get any kind of decent game time. So you got to think Taylor's like just not going to get a look in. This is not his year, sure.
Yeah. The only other thing is, definitely in some of the social, in a lot of the blue socials, I just remember seeing they're like AJ Lamb set to have a massive year. They've been really pumping him up. So
You
you know,
can't
like
pump them. They're pumping them all up though, mate. They're pumping up Plummer. Bodie's
yeah,
in the fucking interviews going, "Oh yeah, he was so good for us last year." Maybe you're saying that because it's all retro. They're all looking back for Plummer. You know, like this is their soft way of just saying thanks for what you did, but you're done.
yeah. That's it. Look,
Plummer
all right,
gets 2 games, mate. It's when Bodie gets a rest.
we're going to move on to the third question, but I'm going to say answering with the what I think is happening will be Plummer, answering with the hard AJ Lamb. There you go. So
You just flipped.
I did. Sorry, too bad. I flipped now. I'm not going to be on record not having the other way around. All right, third question. This one's from this guy we hate who follows us. He just answers so many annoying questions, but no, he's got in amongst it. At Harrison Dale, you might find him on the pod right now.
I don't actually think that's my Twitter handle, to be honest.
At Dale, well, the other thing is, I don't know how many alternate ego Twitter accounts you and Nelson have.
It's actually at Harrisondale88. It's not even my Twitter handle that I put on there. That's how good. I've done a lot of prep for this question.
That's right, mate. No one follow that guy.
That's true.
No. All right, the question from... Well, why don't you ask the question then, I guess, since it's your question.
Well, my question was, I just thought it was massive that Timothy Tavatavanawai was playing 12 in the last trial game against the Crusaders. Yeah. And I said, do we think this is a realistic chance of happening this season?
Well, for me, the answer is yes, I think there's a realistic chance of it happening. I think we've talked about Sam Gilbert so much as a 10-12, whatever, but I honestly think particularly with JRK gone for the season, I think Sam Gilbert's pretty much locked in at 15.
I can tell you for sure that they see Sam Gilbert as a fullback for this year. They do not see him as a centre.
Okay, exactly. So with that in mind, then for inside centres, to me it just really depends on where's Tudge. I haven't seen him.
Missing the first 2 or 3 weeks with a shoulder injury.
Right. Okay. Well, that answers my question then. For me, it's if Tudge is fit, he's starting at 12 every day of the week.
12, not 13?
No, 12. Tudge at 12 and Taeli at 13. And that is a formidable centre. That's centre partnership. That is...
Tanielu Talea, you mean?
Tanielu Talea at 13?
Yeah, I had him the other way around, hey.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I had Tudge at 13, Tanielu Talea at 12.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I just see Tudge more in the mold. I know he's played some 13, but I would say he can play both, whereas Talea, I think, is more of a 13 or wing. But I guess, look, Talea's body size, he could play 12, 13, 14, doesn't matter, you know. But I think certainly in the first few weeks, and the reason for that is they've just got so many great players out wide. Like I said, Caleb Tangatau, I think, was man of the match in that trial game. And so you got Nareki on one wing, Tangatau on the other wing. And Tavatavanawai as part of your co-captain. What have we always said? What was the game plan for Moana 2 years ago? What was our whole game plan for Moana? Just get the ball into his hands, please. That was it. And last year, look, he had a good year last year, but he wasn't getting as much ball. He had to go hunting for it himself, right? And so at the 12 jersey, I see him just filling that Joshua Tuisova role, just steamrolling everyone. And like, if you want guaranteed go forward, you give it to him at the 12 in the middle of the field. So I think we very well could see that in the first couple of weeks. What will then happen then? I think it will then default back to, we'll see him get back to the wing if we have Tudge and things come back. But who knows? He could just absolutely kill it. And we could see him at 12 all season. It'll be one of those annoying things where in fantasy he's an outside back but playing 12.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the first couple of weeks he'll get the opportunity, and then depending on how successful it is, they'll work out what they do with Talea. That's how I kind of see it. But I would say that I'm leaning very much the same way, that the Talea Tudge centre combo is the most likely long term option here. So we'll make sure that Harrisondale88 hears that one and and sees if he agrees with us or not.